It's a beautiful thing to be mixed, but then it's like, how do you deal with, like, where do you go, you know? And for me to be three cultures, it's like, wow, you know, is it black? Is it Filipino? Is it white? You know? It took me a while to kind of like feel comfortable. But with the Filipino community, love them to death. I just never really felt embraced by it. Not because of I didn't want to, just my ignorance towards the culture, because I really wasn't raised in the Filipino culture, but raised more on the black side or the white side. So that was my everyday.
Right.
But now it's like, you know what? I'm all that. I'm the world, you know? And all the inadequacies of being mixed now is like, it makes me powerful. These are Honoré's powers, you know, to be able to like, I'm the world and I have something to say.
Like crazy, and you know what it is. We're heartbeats in heat. We're heartbeats in heat. We're heartbeats in heat.
I interviewed you a long time ago on my old program, Kababayan Today. And I remember your name and I remember your music. And then what happened?
Yeah, and I remember I was so excited to be on your show, Janelle. And this is right before I went to the Philippines for the first time. And went over there, had a great experience. Doing my best to be like the biggest, the best artist that I could be. But life happened where my dad had passed.
Okay.
So I had to kind of figure that out. And I'm the only boy in the family. I have 5 older sisters. And so all the fingers were pointing at me. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna, you know?
Right.
So I had to fly back to the States.
For some people, when they leave their career, they are able to go back to it. You hit a pause button on your career in the Philippines so you can take your family here.
Yes.
Were you able to go back?
Unfortunately, not yet. It's in the plans, you know. And then, you know, COVID kind of happened recently. So I know I will be back to touch the soil and to like see the people, because I really love it, even though I'm not fully Pinoy, but it's part of me, and I loved it. I love the people. Just the whole culture. It's so wonderful.
You were there performing
Yes.
with the Pussycat Dolls,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
At the height of their career.
Honoré.
And you were this up and coming guy as well, right? And you were being built up as such. And you have the music for it, you have the voice for it. And then
So, you know, everything was set up perfectly for me. And yeah, we did the Araneta Coliseum, you know, it was like little me on stage in front of all these cool people. At least with my brand, you know, I write my own music. I write and produce my music. So I'm more of an advocate for original music versus, you know, singing covers. You know, it's huge in our community. It's always been like that since the dawn of time for Filipinos. But I'm like, if I had the choice to do covers or my original music, of course I'm gonna do original. So I'm always in favor of that, you know, and it was a little bit of a, kind of a struggle with the promoters and different things, because like, yeah, they don't know your music, but if you sing Usher, they're gonna go crazy. I'm like, yeah, that's great, but that's always Usher. It doesn't matter how good I sing it, that's always his song. We negotiated, okay, like do maybe one cover and then you can do 2 of your own songs.
right.
But I learned, that it was difficult for me to do that. Versus here in America, it's totally different. Like you're always promoting your originals and stuff.
Right.
They seen a different vision for me, and they wanted the best for me. I just didn't understand it. I wasn't mature enough to understand, like, okay, let me work it this way, and eventually they'll know. Because my goal is for acts to sing my songs as covers.
Right.
That's when you know you made it.
Right.
Yeah.
You were disappointed or maybe disenchanted, right? How do your feelings then compare to your feelings now?
It's somewhat still there. I mean, I go to a lot, just, you know, within the past 2 years or since COVID, I've been doing a lot more, I've been more active within the Filipino community. Maybe it didn't work out years ago for whatever reason, but there's another chance for me. And I wanted to like do my best and put my best foot forward to say, look, it's part of my culture. I really feel that they should know about me, you know, whether they accept me or not, that's one thing, but I think they should know because of artists like her, because of Bruno Mars and Sweetie.
Sweetie,
Yeah, you know, all these artists that are mixed, and it's like, I should have been there, you know, like, oh man, did I miss my train that just kind of recently passed by? I was like, no, it just wasn't meant for me to be on that train.
Right.
But there's another train that's coming.
Right.
There's another wave of coming, and I feel like now, you know, God willing, it's my time to like share my story. As we're talking, I feel more comfortable and confident.
So you're ready to tell your story now, and you're telling your story in the form of an album. Congratulations on Purple.
Prince is my favorite artist of all time. In my opinion, he's the greatest. So he was like a teacher. So with Purple, it was kind of like an ode to him, like the color purple, because purple rain.
Yes.
And I always felt like purple is the color of love for me. When I create music, you know, there's chords and different things, but when I hear it and I see it in my head, I see colors. Purple for me is the album that showcased my life during a little bit pre-COVID, during COVID, and a little bit after COVID.
Right.
When I worked on the album, I created like maybe 50 songs, and then you kind of streamlined it, you know, because I didn't want to just put a bunch of songs together.
Right.
I wanted to kind of have somewhat of a
story.
theme, a story to it, and so here we are with Purple.
Right.
It's been a long time coming, I'm 100 miles and plotting after you. I hurt you so bad.